Hello and welcome to this video. It's been a while since I've made a video. We've had a really bad spring, lots of rain, lots of fallen trees, lots of yard work. Ergo, I have been busy doing real life things and have been unable to actually sit down and make a video or do any kind of brewing. But today what we're going to do is we're going to make a coffee liqueur inspired by homebrewing wild and cheap. I will put a link down in the description to his YouTube channel. Go over, show him some love. Does great videos. His video style is impacted on some of the way that I make and do my videos. So go over and show the man some love. But I digress. What we're going to be making is a coffee liqueur. The recipe I'm using is going to differ from his a little bit simply because I'm lazy and I don't feel like driving 15 miles into town to pick up honey. So mine's going to be an all brown sugar, vanilla, and coffee wine mixture. So this is the rum I'm going to be using. Dark rum, just cheap from Specs or whatever that's what our local liquor store is. I like looking through the bottle. But this is just cheap Caribbean wine or Caribbean rum. Let me correct myself. And of course we're going to be using good Mexican vanilla. I've got two 2-pound bags of brown sugar. I will probably only need one bag, but I have the second bag in preparation if I want it sweeter. And here is 1 gallon of the coffee wine that I made several months ago. It's set and it's aged. So it takes coffee wine about 2 years to mature, but for making a coffee liqueur, this should be good. It should still be pretty good. Let me get everything set up, and we'll be back in a little bit to continue on and forward. Okay, right here I have put half a bag, about 1 pound of brown sugar into the trusty pan here. I'm using, because this is what's cheap. This is what's cheap. It's easy enough to get a hold of. In keeping with the recipe that I inspired with, I'm going to be using my coffee liqueur here. And I forgot to get a stir spoon. Let me get right back with that. Stir spoon. Not really, it's clean. I'm not worried about sanitizing it because we're going to be heating this. So I'm going to turn on my stove and I'm going to add just enough of my coffee wine to make a syrup. Which that should be about it enough. We'll find out real quick. Oh, gotta add a little bit more. I am kind of, oh yeah, that kind of works real good. Get this all melty. Well, I have another bottle. What I'm going to do is once I get my base made, smells good. Once I get my base made, I'm going to let it cool, and I'm going to transfer this into another jug, about half of it, and I'm going to add my syrup for my base, and I am going to then add the rest of the coffee, give it a good stir, give it a good shake, and then I'm going to I'm learning how to talk. Put it back into the gallon carboy. Oh, this smells heavenly. It is very much. You know what? I forgot measuring spoon. I'm an idiot, but it wouldn't be me if I didn't forget something. So I get this stirred good. And yes, you're going to drive off some of the alcohol from the wine. That's just what heat does to alcohol, and live with it. But that's why we're adding rum. We're adding rum for flavor, and we're adding it mainly for flavor, but it's going to increase the alcohol a bit. I forgot, when I picked this up, I knew what my ABV was. It's saying 40% ABV. We're starting to get a nice little froth going. Still feel some of the sugar. We will be adding, I will probably, when I get this where I want it, I will probably get this, turn this down and let it start to cool, then get my measurers and measure out my, let's turn this heat down before we have this. Yeah, we don't want it bubbling over on the stove. My wife's spent all morning cleaning the kitchen. Yeah, and that's my backside. Almost a profanity there. I had to start this over once because let's let this chill out. We might get a boil over. Yay, no, not good. And turn this all the way off. I will go get my measuring spoons. Of course, they're not in here. But in the sink. Mash up the tablespoon real good. Well, this is still doing its thing. And so, for 1 gallon, I'm going to put about 4 tablespoons of vanilla in. Seeing as how we're at the end, this is beginning to go down. Now the rum, I'm going to put the rum in to taste, not necessarily a measured proportion. I'm putting it in to my taste. So I will try to measure it out and let you know how much I put in for my taste. I imagine you look up different recipes to get, you know, very well mixed in. Very good, very good. Let's see. Everything's fairly sterilized, or really sterilized. It looks like we got up there. I do like vanilla, so that's the reason why I'm putting 4 tablespoons in, just because I like vanilla. You can alter this recipe. You can add other things such as sugar. Sorry about that. We were interrupted by a failure of the battery. Totally my fault. Didn't charge it, didn't check. So we had to swap out the battery and rock it on. So like where I was at 4. Getting ready to add our 1, 2, 3, 4. That does not go back on the vanilla. This does. So we'll mix this in real good. And then I'm going to put this into the refrigerator to cold crash it, get it cold. Then we'll be adding our rum, like I said. I'll be adding the rum to my taste. I will try and tell you how much rum I put into it. It's going to be rather a liberal amount. I like rum. And earlier in the video, I stated this was 40% alcohol by volume. It's not. It's 40 proof, which means it's about 20 proof. Well, maybe I did read that right. Maybe it's 80 proof. I don't know. Here, I'll show you guys. Maybe you guys can. Yeah, there we go. So, like I said. So when I add that into here, I should probably put this back on to keep stuff out of my liqueur, out of my wine. So I get this. It smells awesomely good. Tastes really, really good. Sweet. Well, I think I'm going to add a little bit more vanilla. Because this is going to diffuse a little bit in the rum and the... Add 1 more tablespoon, which bring my grand total to 5. So, it smells awesome. I don't mind plugging Homebrewing Wild and Cheap simply because he does damn good videos. And like I said, his videos inspired a lot of my videos. And he does good work, and he's right. In his video on making coffee liqueur, the whole room smells awesome. It smells like a small, quaint little coffee shop. So, there we go. Taking this, we'll put it in the fridge, and we'll be back when it's cooled down. I'm going to turn off the video. I'd like to move some stuff around the fridge. We are back now. We have cooled off our base. I've got my Brewer flask. I'm going to do my measuring. It's a little bit of water. I cleaned it and sanitized it. And I'm going to need my funnel. Yay, the funnel. Just because, like I said earlier, my wife cleaned the kitchen and the stove and all that. And if I screw it up, that's my backside. So, we're going to dump our syrup. Maybe. There we go. some. There we go. We're just shy of about 600 milliliters on the Ermile flask. Now we're going to add our rum. We're going to bring it probably up to about 1,000 milliliters. That should be enough rum. Got our rum in there. Take Mr. Funnel out. Give it a good stir. So, I've got about 400 milliliters of rum in here, and give that a good stir. Get all that rum and stuff mixed in that syrup. It smells really rummy. I wonder why. So, we'll take our secondary container. We'll take Mr. Funnel. Take the lid off him. And he has been cleaned and sanitized. Let me move the camera a little bit. And get Mr. Coffee Liqueur. Or not liqueur, this is the coffee wine. Okay, about half that dumped in. Let's dump in our rum, our liqueur base. Yes, the rum is going to displace some of the volume of. Yep. Glad finish filling this up. Actually, let's do it this way. I'm going to dump this into here as I splash it all over the counter, which I'm going to have to clean up before the wife gets home. Finish dumping that there. The reason why I went ahead and it's completely off camera because this is in the way, but I went ahead and dumped it in here just to hopefully reclaim and capture some of my base that stayed in the. Plus, it's easier to dump it this way. Yep, spilled some more. Gonna have to do a lot of cleanup. Not a lot of cleanup, just make sure I get it clean. It smells really good. I mean, testing sample, I guess. So. So what I'm going to do is put this back in here, not putting this back into the carboy. Get this out of the way until I get a chance to shake it. My theory is waste not, want not. So. Well, we got a large chunk of it back. So let's find the lid to our secondary container. Put it on. Give this a good shake. Get everything mixed in real well. And we'll take it and dump it back in our carboy. And we have enough left in our secondary container to do our tasting portion of the video here in a little bit. Which I will do the tasting portion of the video. Here we go. 1 gallon coffee liqueur. Yeah, I will do the tasting portion of this video after I clean up the mess. Hello, and we're back for the tasting portion of this video. Got me a nice little wine glass. Tasting glass I picked up at a brewery or a winery in Central Texas. So it smells heavenly. It smells, the coffee smells come through it very, very well. Yeah, nice rum, good balance of vanilla and sweetness from the brown sugar. The rum's not overpowering, but it's there. You can taste it. This is as good as, if not better, and I do say so, than a lot of the store-bought coffee liqueurs that I've bought. This would also be good to add to coffee in small amounts, especially if you know it's going to be a hard day at work or whatever. Not that I advocate drinking before I go to work, but do what you do. Like I said, it's smooth. Got the coffee flavor. The coffee flavor is very robust. It's a good blend with the brown sugar and the vanilla. You get a hint of the vanilla mixed in with the coffee. It's overall very, very well done. Cheers. And thank you very much to Homebrewing Wild and Cheap. Giving me something that I can enjoy.